Hi everyone, this is Tammy and I'm going to be using my Gypsy for today's project, which is a wine bottle wrapper. I'm using the Tags, Bags, Boxes and More cartridge on my Gypsy, and the tag that I want to use is actually in the first column, third row, and I'm going to put it up here in the middle. And I'm going to show everyone how to adjust the size on this particular tag where it's not proportionate. In the Gypsy, when you change your size, it automatically defaults and has everything proportionate. So when you change the height, the width automatically changes with it. But by using this little button right here, see if you can see that, then you can, there's a little link in between width and height, and you can actually turn that little button off. And by turning that off, you can now change each the width and the height individually, which I'm going to make my width 11 inches because I want it to wrap all the way around my bottle and actually overlap a little bit. And you'll see it's real skinny on the top because it's not proportionate and my height is still at 1 inch. So then I will go and change my height to 3.5 inches. And there we go. We have a perfect wrapper for my wine bottle. Alright, in step 2, I'm going to be using the copy and paste feature. I have my tag highlighted and I'm going to move to my advanced page. And underneath in the middle of my advanced page is this button with 2 boxes, and that is my copy and paste feature. And so I'm just going to simply move it down and I will click it again, and that gives me 3 of my wine wrappers all on the same page. Step 3, you actually get to use the multiple page feature that is new to the Gypsy. You should see a small plus sign right up here in the top left corner of your Gypsy screen. I've discovered that you want to make sure that nothing is highlighted on the page that you're using before adding multiple pages, because then it can kind of move things around on you. So to place your cursor somewhere where it's not actually highlighting on any of the images, and then tap your stylus on the plus sign. When you do that, you'll see that it added another page, and it gives you this little box up here in the top left corner that has a 2 on it. And that means I'm now looking at page 2. You can still see the image of page 1 behind it with my wine bottle wrappers, which is great, and they're all kind of grayed out. You won't be able to do anything with them or anything like that because you're on a different page. But now we can add the frames that I want to put on there, and I can see what size my frames need to be. I'm going to be going to Wildcard. One of my favorite ones is this one right here, which is key 41. I really like that frame. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm going to kind of get it out here, and I'm going to put it in the top of my top wrapper. I'm going to activate my proportionate link again because I want to change my size and make that more, I want it to be proportionate. And so then I'm going to bring that down. And look at how cute that one is. And then I want it to be a little bit bigger. So let's grow it and see how big I can actually get it to fit on that wrapper. It looks like 10 might be a really good size for that one. So I'm going to leave that at 10 inches, and that's my top wrapper. And I'll do this individually for each of them, but to save time in today's video, I'm just going to focus on the top wrapper. Once I've done that, I'm going to take my cursor off of that again, and I'm going to add my layer for a third page. Now I'm on page 3 because the little box tells me so, and I can see my wrappers in the distance and my frame that I put on page 2. Now what I'm going to put on in this page, I'm going to put my cursor in, and this is an important tip. Before adding anything, once you've added multiple pages, before adding anything to your mat, place your cursor in the center, because if you don't, when you click at that top left plus sign, it wants to take your cursor way up in the corner, and you'll lose whatever images you're adding. Now I'm going to look for Happy Thanksgiving, which is also on Wildcard, and it is feature key 21, and you see it's in the middle there, so I'm going to change my size, 8.5 and see if that's a good fit. That's a good fit. So 8.5 for my Happy Thanksgiving. Now I would continue to do that for my other 2 wrappers, but to save time, again, I'm going to go ahead and add my 4th layer. And to do that, I'm going to type my plus sign one more time, and you'll see that it gives me page 4. Now on page 4, I'm going to go and add my background to the Happy Thanksgiving, which is this oval. And you'll see that you come out with an oval that fits perfectly, even though there was not a shadow feature for these frames. By using the Gypsy, you make your own shadows with the shapes. So there we go. And so there's my background for the Happy Thanksgiving that fits right underneath this frame. And that is on layer 4. So just to recap, layer 1 is the wine wrappers themselves, and that is from Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More. Layer 2 is the frame from Wildcard and using the frame feature. Layer 3 is the Happy Thanksgiving from Wildcard. And layer 4 is my background for my frame and Happy Thanksgiving, and that is also from Wildcard. Now, if I go to make these months from now, am I going to remember where I got all these images? Because there's no way really to save your projects with and list the cartridges that you use. Up to now, that is. And I'm going to share with you how my final step I save my project. I'm going to actually add a 5th page. When I add that 5th page, I'm going to put my cursor back on there, and I'm going to go to actually my favorite Plantin school book. And the 5th page actually is an information page. It's not even intended to ever cut, and you'll see why. When I add this 5th page, I will then put down that the first page of my project, and that I know it's the first page because it has a 1, was Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More. Then I will add that 2 through 4 and space was Wildcard. I'm going to put those right down here. Now again, page 5, which is my last page of my project, is not intended to be cut. It is only an information page, and it is what will tell me what cartridges and cuts I used on this project. So again, page 1 was Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More, and pages 2 through 4 were all Wildcard. Now if you use multiple cartridges on one page, you could put page 1 was Tags, Bags, Boxes, and More, and whatever. And that at least gives you somewhere to start when you're looking to make changes to a project that you already have saved. And it reminds you of what you actually used. So there's a little tip on being organized. That's my own little personal tip, and how I like to save my projects. And so from there, I will then go and save this project, and I will place that it was on a 12. Whoops. It's on a 12 by 12 mat, so I use a 12, and then a space and a hyphen and a space, and I will put wine space wrappers. And that's how I save it. So I hope that kind of helps you get a little more organized, because I can imagine a year from now my Gypsy will be full of fun projects, and I'll want to be able to know what I used in order when I go back to make more or to make any changes to projects and things like that. So there you go. I hope that you learned something today, and have a lot of fun, because it was really a cool project and I enjoyed it. And I know that my guests at my Thanksgiving dinner party are going to have a lot of fun with them too. So have fun, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.